The biggest banks in the world will move trillions of dollars through a blockchain in the future instead of the old slow and pricey ways, and not just any blockchain, one that was designed to be quick, scalable, and easy to use all over the world. This is what's going on with XRP and the system that uses it. Sent huge amounts of money to countries that need them the most to help fight climate change. This is what the story is all about. The weather is getting worse, which is bad for growing countries. They have to deal with bad weather, rising sea levels, cities that are falling apart, drought, and not having enough food. And for decades, outside groups like the UN and the World Bank have said they will pay for ways to deal with climate change and make it less bad. Making promises isn't enough. Now is the time to deliver. The question is how to move 1 trillion in a way that is clear and quick. Banked rails aren't designed to handle this. It's possible for an American bank to go through 5 banks before it can send money to a small town in sub-Saharan Africa. It might cost a lot of money and take days to do. Think of with hundreds of billions of dollars spread out in 100 different countries, keeping track of it, reporting on it, going over it and making sure it gets to the right place without any fraud or issues. This is where blockchain technology comes in handy. There are hundreds of blockchains and digital currencies out there, but only a few are truly global and made for companies. That's what makes XRP special. The XRP ledger is a separate blockchain that works best for payments. With its quick free 5-second settlement time, it can connect 2 countries. Payment fees are very small, only a few cents each. It wasn't meant for Bitcoin and Ethereum to be used for large-scale payments. XRP, on the other hand, was made to be used for trade around the world. Without an intermediary, it's easy to send money from one party site to another and from one country to another. This solves a big problem for the World Bank. It's not just to move money. They want to get it done quickly so that it can be found and not lost. This is where XRP comes in. People in industry working groups, think tanks, and blockchain infrastructure coalitions have said and written that XRP is seen as the most important part of moving climate funding forward. Some papers even say that the World Bank and other similar groups have tried or are currently running a test program to use the XRP ledger to send and receive money internationally and keep track of climate funds. There are some people who don't like the word made sure. No one has agreed in public or signed up that says XRP is the official currency for a 1 trillion project. I think theory is tech is making things better because it can do what it needs to do. People need it right away. And because of how it's built, RP doesn't have many of the issues that other systems do. Let's say, though, that XRP is chosen by the people to be the project's bridge currency. What does that mean for its value? This is where things get crazy. Let's figure it out. Right now, there are around 100 billion XRP coins in use, but not all of them are. If the UN and the World Bank start moving 100 trillion a year, this flow should be able to happen all year through the XRP environment without big price changes. To keep things as stable, the market value of XRP would have to go up a lot, well into the trillions of dollars. You can't ask about this. It's just simple benefit math. As soon as an object is needed around the world, its value is no longer based on hype but on need. So let's say that flow rate's a trillion year need a market cap of 7.5 trillion a year. That number can be split into 100 billion parts to get the value of each XRP. It's not a mistake. To be honest, that's also not hype. In other words, that's what utility-based pricing means. That's what would happen in a perfect world, just so you know. It basically assumes that XRP is used by a lot of people, is highly integrated, and is being scaled up all over the world. At the same time, digital assets have gone from being unknown to being very important all over the world. Bitcoin went from being worth a few cents to almost 70,000 very quickly. At first, Ethereum was only seen as a place to build things, but it quickly became a leader in decentralized currency. XRP might be the next one. The story and the system seem to fit together very well. The rod isn't easy. Of course, rules and laws are really the main issue that no one wants to talk about. A lot of attention has been paid to XRP, especially in the US where Ripple was sued by the SEC and there was question for years. But things are starting to make more sense. The lack of trust between organizations is another issue. The UN, the World Bank, and the International Monetary Fund all move slowly. To get a lot of people to use XRP, these groups need more than just technical promises. Of course, they need strong, clear, and responsible control as well. There are many copies of the XRP system, but it needs to show that it will be strong in the long run. It becomes very important that the network is stable, that nodes are managed well, and that it can't be hacked or go down. Then there's the race. It's not just XRP. You can choose stable coins like USDC and USDT, which are tied to the dollar. CBDCs or central bank digital currencies are becoming more and more popular all over the world. There are other blockchains like Stellar Algo and Ethereum's Layer 2 networks that want to be the best way for money to move around the world. XRP's strength, though, is it is already fully grown. It has been going since 2012. A huge number of deals have gone through without any issues. Companies that deal with money banks and other financial firms use it. And businesses from all over the world have joined forces with Ripple, the company that made the system. Trust and speed win for XRP. What is all of this? He's a businessman or just someone who is interested? Please keep in mind that this is just a guess, but it's a good one. Here, we're putting together facts that are already known, new trends and public goals. You should really check it out for yourself. Don't buy just because everyone else is. You should buy XRP because you believe in it and know how important it is. Check out the white papers. Find out how it works. Learn how agreements work, how validators do their jobs, and how to build bridges. Next, think about the risk. It's true that crypto is hard to predict. Rules can be made by the government quickly, and new technologies can appear out of nowhere. But hey, taking big risk often pays off. If XRP grows into the base of $1 trillion market, early buyers could make a ton of money that changes their lives. Third, check out the news. In real life, pay attention to signs. If the World Bank or the UN issues a policy statement that names XRP system Ripple as a partner, you should do something. You already know what to do when test projects turn into full-scale projects. If central banks XRP to their ways of funding, this is your chance. Time is very important. Last, think about how things will work in the long run. The worst mistake investors can make is to not believe in long-term exponential growth. A trillion goes through XRP every year. It might keep people excited and make it more useful, and even the government could use them. It's not about getting rich quick. This is about getting ready for a time when money will be moved by computers instead of banks. Let's look at the first question again. Could XRP reach 75,000? The truth is that no, but only if a lot of people agree with it. Institutions trust it, and it is actually used. But is it really possible? Stranger things do happen in business, of course. And because everyone needs to help fight climate change and give money, the lines that Moody will become more important than the money itself. This is not just a cryptocurrency, it's also a new way to make things. A link for countries' money and wealth, and maybe even a way to make the world more stable for each country on its own. I do now. If you saw this, you're already ahead of the game. Keep the wave going. Do research. Teach, talk, learn new things, get active, and most of all, have fun. Most importantly, get ready for a future that is already coming true. If this report turns out to be true, people who use XRP early on will not only make money, but they'll also be a part of history and see how the world moves money change. If this movie made you think about what could happen, please click like. And subscribe to see more movies like this. Write something below. What do you think the World Bank thinks about XRP? Could each coin be worth 75,000? That is this just another has crypto fantasy? Let's have a real talk based on facts, understanding, and an open mind.